Oh God, don't film me using tire levers to put the tires on. That's not how you're supposed to do it.
We're at the Pinkbike Field Test, and we've got 14 brand new mountain bikes to test. We wanted to dig a little bit deeper into how we tested them, so you guys can put our testing into context for your own trails.
First, we broke the bikes into 3 categories. We've got downcountry bikes, trail bikes, and enduro bikes. Downcountry bikes are bikes with less than 130 millimeters of travel front and rear, but with a slacker than 67.5 degree head-tube angle. Stupid name aside, and we're truly sorry for that, this category has seen some of the most growth in the last year, and we're huge fans. Less travel, more aggressive geometry, it's a winning combo in a lot of places. It's for riders who want to pedal, maybe care about who gets to the top first, and who maybe also want to do a stage race sometimes. Trail bikes are bikes with 130 to 150 millimeter travel front and rear. These are the bikes most of us are looking for. They're neither full-on park sleds or stage race weapons, but bikes that can handle all aspects of mountain biking reasonably well. And finally, we've got the enduro category. Those are the bikes with 160 to 180 millimeters of travel front and rear, the big dogs. EWS tracks have gotten super rowdy now, and these bikes reflect that. They're at home in the bike park, and most of them can still spin their way to the top of a trail quite efficiently.
In terms of bike setup, we followed the manufacturer's settings to start with, and then we adjusted from there until we felt comfortable. Now with sizing, we also followed the manufacturer's sizing guide as well too, so we're all on the sizes that they recommend. We did change out things like stems as saddles as needed to be comfortable and get the fit to be as good as possible.
Last year, we spent way too much time complaining about tires. Lightweight tires with flimsy casings, they don't have a place on aggressive trail bikes or enduro bikes. So this year, we brought in some control tires in order to level the playing field and give us one less thing to complain about.
For testing, we rode a variety of trails here in Pemberton, including Overnight Sensation, Rusty Trombone, Cream Puff, and Moose Jaw. Descending capability is often harder to test than climbing performance, so we also took the trail and enduro bikes up the road to the Whistler Bike Park. This allowed us to put several days of more than 10,000 feet of descending on each bike.
Time testing is a complicated and slightly flawed way to assess bikes, but we did set up a few timed laps just in order to have a point of reference. The testers try to keep their efforts and pace as consistent as possible when they did those laps. For the downcountry time lap, we chose a 9-ish minute loop here in Pemberton that incorporated the Wild Potato and Econo Dave trails. It's 1 kilometer long with almost 100 meters of elevation gain. It starts with some switchback climbing, it's followed by a steep, loose fire road. Then the descent starts off. There's a few fairly spicy rock rolls to keep things interesting, and it flows into some typical rooty, flowy bits of trail we have here in the Pacific Northwest.
For the trail bikes time lapped, we went to Whistler and used Afternoon Delight into Lower Whistler downhill. Afternoon Delight starts with a high-speed, chunky single track through the forest. It opens up into a side hill straightaway before dropping into Lower Whistler DH, which is a bit slower and steeper. It has a lot of rocky, rooty, slabby stuff, and is definitely a place where handling is critical on these smaller bikes. A lot of time is lost or gained in this part before opening it back up and finishing the lap with a few smooth berms and some pedaling.
With the enduro bikes, we turn to Schleyer, a Whistler Bike Park classic that starts off with a couple of jumps, and those lead into a sequence of drops, a steep rock face, and a wheel-punishing rock garden for good measure. From there, the trail flattens out a bit, which is where you can really find out if a bike carries speed well. Finishes off with an off-camber rock slab, a step down, and then 2 final jumps.
This year's field test was supported by Giro helmets, Raceface apparel, and Sierra Nevada beer, so thanks to them for making it happen. Another big thank you to Rocky Mountain for loaning us some e-mountain bikes for the lazy filmers and photographers, and GoPro for the POV cameras. We hope this helps you put our Pinkbike Field Test videos into context and that you can find them useful. We have a whole bunch more videos coming, including some editor's choice roundtables where they'll tell you which ones are their favorites. Thanks for watching.